Halo. Not like an angel, but hay for horses. Obviously, this is Divine Dingo. Welcome back. I'm Ashley. I'm your host of this series of episodes that I have put out on the internet. One day I'm going to get just like so good at hosting a podcast and everybody's going to be like, wow, we miss it when she sucked at hosting podcasts because it was way more entertaining. But hey, we're all going to master a trade one day, right? And maybe mine is talking into a microphone alone in my podcast studio, which is also my kitchen and my dance studio and my altar and my library. So, Jill of all trades, am I right? I have been kind of like all over the place. I don't know. I feel like every time I get on the mic and it's just a solo episode, I start out with, hey, I'm a mess. Are you guys also a mess? Because, I don't know, I'm a mess, so let's talk about it. And then my microphone is like, ugh, here comes this bitch again talking about her feelings. Can we just get to the content? But then I'm like, look, microphone, this is the content. And then microphone's like, oh yeah, well, do your thing then, girl. Do your thing then, girl. You got this. I'm here to support you and amplify your voice. That's literally your job, microphone. And then we're cool. And then we're cool again. Sometimes we all just need a little bit of a reminder. Things have been all right. I am up and down, in and out and around depression. That's fun. I guess I just thought growing up that when people say that they had depression, it was just kind of like this thing that you always had. I didn't realize the fluidity of these feelings. My feelings are so fluid. But I don't even know if it's like, is depression a feeling or is it more complex than that? And am I self-diagnosing? Sure, but like, I mean, there's a number of reasons why I can feel why I feel, external sources, internal sources. I mean, everything is inside of me, but I'm still here to have a human experience. So I do still perceive things to be outside of myself. Like, I don't know, the patriarchy, the pandemic, things like that. I don't know. Does the pandemic live inside of me? I mean, DM me if you have the answer to that. Yeah, I've just been like, just really trying. I don't even want to say trying. I have been actively honoring where I am at. And what I mean by that is the headspace that I'm in, the heart space that I'm in. I'm just actively honoring where I am in the present moment, which is a fucking job. I should just quit my other job, the one that pays my bills, and just sit down and honor where the fuck I'm at full time, because that takes up a lot of my fucking energy. Holy shit. How many cuss words can I get in one podcast? Why am I insecure about that? I just feel like my mom's listening. Hey, Mom. Sorry I said fuck so many times. I'm probably going to say it like 3 times as many more than what just happened. So, but yeah, that's a full-time job. I'm in it. I didn't realize how complex I was. I've always just put myself into a box. I don't know. Same shit, different day, people. 4 minutes in, and I'm just like, ugh, let's just talk about me. I really have just had dogs on the mind a lot lately. I don't know if it's more than usual. It almost does feel a little bit more than usual, which is saying something because my Instagram feed is mostly dog videos, which, hey, I heard today you are what you eat, and you don't just eat food, you eat what you watch. So we're all just eating it, and I'm just eating dog videos, so. And like, oddly enough, for a person who literally wears no makeup ever, makeup tutorials, not even makeup tutorials, but just like, those really short videos, maybe like, I guess they're a reel nowadays, a TikTok, it used to be a Vine, maybe just back in the day it was a film, on a film roll of somebody just putting on like foundation, just like the transformations, people, it's like, oh My gosh, she did what? They did what? He did what with what? I'm just impressed. I don't know. But I guess speaking of that, I have such a complicated relationship with social media. Pretty much it just fucks me up. It just triggers the fuck out of me. It just brings out the worst in me. I don't know why I spend so much fucking time on it. I mean, now that I have this podcast and I have my Divine Dingo Instagram, I know that I spend time on there to promote the podcast and to meet people and things like that. But it's like, do I really? Or do I just bounce back and forth between my Seshly Gaydon and my Divine Dingo and just mindlessly scroll on whatever the fuck is on my feed? And I just really am struggling with the power that it has on me, or the power it's taking from me. It is just become something so much more than an app on my phone. It's an entity in and of itself. I guess I'm speaking specifically of Instagram. That's what I spend most of my time on. I don't do Twitter. After the election, after a few days after the election, I think daily I would just Google Donald Trump tweets and I would just kind of like scroll because it was pretty entertaining. So like I have done Twitter, but don't actively do Twitter. The only social media that I get on is Instagram. I don't know if you can consider YouTube social media, although it's kind of trying to be. But it's just so much fucking time on my phone. And I used to just like seriously judge myself for that. And then I would judge others for it. Like, oh God, we're all just zombies. How do we even fucking connect anymore? And while, I still kind of believe some of that, I guess. It's just not like in that judgmental, snarky tone that I had in my late teens, early 20s. It doesn't matter what the fuck everybody else is doing, but what am I doing? Because I could be having a great day and then I can get on there and then I see something that like collectively everybody is worried about, or collectively everybody's pointing their perception at. And then I feel like, oh, I should be pointing my perception at this too. Or oh, this is a big thing and I should be worried and I should be taking precautions and I should be more active and I should. And it's just like fucking A, like there's already so much pressure that I put on myself to perform or to be a certain way day to day. I just don't fucking need this little robot machine in my phone to come alive and suck my power. Because that's just how it feels. It just feels like social media is a fucking vampire that may have started as a good idea. I don't know. Fucking, what do you think? Why can't I remember the guy that created Facebook? That asshole. What do you think, that asshole? Did it start as a good idea? We've all seen the movie, sir. Ma'am. Mims. I'm just making up proper pronouns now. Can we say Mims? I like Mims. That's like a plural of ma'am. Look at all those hot Mims over there. I guess you could say ma'ams. No, I like Mims. Hashtag hot Mims. Let's see if it'll trend. Do it. Yeah, this is a mess. I don't know. I am... Oh, fuck. I'm going to try and actually not edit this episode. I'm just going to try an experiment where I just like fucking put it out. I will turn the mic down though, because you probably won't appreciate me screaming into your ear. I mean, I already do, but anyways. Yeah, so checking off the list. Social media is killing me. I'm trying to honor where I'm at. I've been like just coming home. I'm just fucking fully embracing this winter season. It just came in hot, that's what I don't like about daylight savings, is I feel like there's a nice transition. It's like, ooh, it's getting a little cold outside. Ooh, some clouds are rolling in the Pacific Northwest. I can smell the rainy season coming. The leaves are changing. I fucking love this subtle change. And then boom, it's dark at 4:45 p.m. It's like, what the fuck? It's like rainy. And then if it is sunny outside, I'm at work all day. And it just like God, I already struggle not having an outdoor job, but just being in an office and then looking outside and it's just sunny and beautiful, and knowing that in the wintertime we get like one sunny day a month, and then I'm just like looking at a computer most of my day. I'm like, the animal in me is like, what are you doing in this wooden box looking at this flat screen tip tap tapping away? What are you doing? What's going on here? Don't you just want to go outside and roll in the dirt? And it's like, yeah, I kind of do want to go roll in the dirt. And then that societal pressure is like, no, you must have a full-time job and have a 401k. And I'm like, wait a second. Where did that voice come from? I did not invite you into my head. Get out of here. But I don't know. I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to like be at a certain place in my like awakening process, in my ritual, my daily ritual. And it's like, fuck, man. I had to, I guess like a month or two ago, I just woke up one day and just had this beautiful morning ritual. Every morning I was waking up like 2 hours before I had to leave my house. I would wake up, I'd automatically, it's so funny how I just said that. I woke up, grabbed my journal to do some automatic writing. I automatic wrote some shit. You know what I'm saying? Just channeling. I'm just trying to like fucking see what comes up. And what's been amazing is noticing how fucking much I judge myself. Like constantly, like automatic writing is just supposed to be like stream of consciousness, just whatever the fuck comes out. But then I'm like, well, that word doesn't go after this word, and that doesn't make a lot of sense, and that's not a complete sentence. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's supposed to be spiritual, and you're really fucking it up right now. So many voices in my head on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of wild. Most of them are in my speaking voice, so that's comforting. The ones that aren't in my speaking voice, I'm like, this is it. This is it. Karen Rontowski told me that I am a medium, so that's exciting. I guess at first I was nervous. This is all over the place. What was I saying? Oh, daily ritual. Yeah, so I was waking up in the morning. I was like, automatic writing. I did like a 30-minute yoga session. I'd come to my altar. I'd like cleanse my space. I'd pull some cards. I'd read a little bit. I'd meditate. I'd put my clothes on. I'd leave the fucking door. Oh, and I mean, I would leave the house, but I would leave the house through the door. So I would keep the door there. I didn't leave the door. Whatever. We needed to comment on it, okay? Me and all the voices in my head. But on top of all that other shit, I also made myself like packed my lunch, made myself tea, bing bang boom. And I realized this I think a couple times too, is because a daily yoga practice is really important to me for my mental health. If my body holds so much emotion and tension, and I'm sure that all of our bodies do. I can just only speak for myself, okay? But if I can just like take time and just stretch my body, and like I have not been able to get myself back into that morning routine that I was in for like a month and a half, and I haven't been able to get myself back into that for like, I don't know, going on like 2 or 3 weeks. And I start to judge myself. And I start to think that this is forever. Me not being able to stick to a routine is because of a character flaw, rather than my routine shifting and changing shapes is natural and normal because I am changing and shifting. And I could honor that instead of being like, Ashley, why can't you fucking finish anything? Also, though, in human design, I'm a manifester, and I'm not actually supposed to finish anything. How do you think that would have gone over with my teachers in high school? Or my boss now, or bosses ever? Just like, Ashley, you had this project, you should finish it. And I'm like, yeah, boss, but I'm not really supposed to finish shit. I don't know. Look at my human design, then you'll understand. And then he'll be like, oh, you're fucking fired. Capitalism. We all just grind away. It's funny, though, because I do like to finish projects with my hands. If you give me something and you're like, move this is probably a terrible example, but move this pile of wood. over there and stack it differently than it's stacked now. And that sounds really boring, but if you have ever served in 2 years of AmeriCorps, 2 consecutive years of AmeriCorps, then you know that when you see a pile of wood that needs to get moved around a bit and reorganized, you're like, I'm the person for the job. Leave me to this. And then somebody comes up and they're like, oh my God, Ashley, I am here to help. I have nothing else to do. I am a good-hearted, good-natured person. I see that you need some help, so I'm going to come over here and help you move wood. And I'm like, touch the fucking wood, and I'll be the last fucking thing you do, you beautiful, genuine, caring soul. This is my fucking pile of wood. That's AmeriCorps for you. People try to be nice, but you don't want them to touch your fucking wood. Sign up today. Serve a year in AmeriCorps. What was I saying? I think that this is like, people are like, oh my God, am I going crazy because I'm hearing voices in my head? Am I going crazy because I like see shit? Am I going crazy for like ascending, awakening, magic? And it's like, sometimes I do think about that, but then other times I just do things like what I just did just moments ago, where I just like talk in weird voices, pretend like I'm advertising. I'm like, is this funny or is it insane? And is this the kind of insane that we're going for? Because I'd much rather be the insane type of person that like can talk to dead people than just like go through an array of characters in like, I can just change characters like 7 times in less than 30 seconds. I don't think that that's the crazy I'm going for. Whatever. I just feel like I am just trying to find my own magic, you know? Maybe my own magic comes about in the craziness that comes out of my mouth. I don't know. Right now, I am noticing myself judging this episode already, and I have an instinct to go and just delete it all, but fuck that. I'm not going to do it. I am not going to do it. What I might do, though, is throw my life away here and go to just live with the animals, because I cannot stop thinking about going to an animal sanctuary, or just like I did with AmeriCorps, where I basically took 2 years off of like, I don't know. I mean, tradition. I kind of had a 9 to 5. Everything was just kind of, the structure of things was much different. And especially my first year of AmeriCorps. Second year was a little bit different, a little bit more structure, kind of like a 9 to 5, except we worked 4 10-hour shifts. And it was a bunch of 20-year-olds who trained for like a week, and then were given chainsaws and we're like, go out there and just cut shit down. You got this. It's not that dangerous of a machine. And I'm like, I'm nervous. I mean, kind of for me, but you're going to give that idiot a chainsaw? Okay. Keep my distance. But I am just craving like something different. And I just want to be around animals all the time. And I know I talked to Mela. Mela was the person that kind of like, I almost felt like Mela like placed a finger on my head, and then my whole head like not exploded, just lit up and like grew like a balloon, and then maybe exploded. And then that was just like Mela connecting with my guides and my higher self, whatever they tap into. You're gonna have to ask them. It's magic. Get a reading from them. You won't regret it. But Mela was like, just go to an island with only cats and like you'll have everything that you need. And I'm like, oh, interesting. But where will this come from? And how will I pay these bills? And Mela was like, no. Just go be with the animals and the money will come. Just go be with the animals. Just go be with the animals. And I was like, I don't know how to do this, right? So this was back in March. And now I just like cannot stop thinking about it. I can't explain how, I should probably try to explain, because this is a podcast about animals, right? And how we connect to them better or whatever. I don't know. Every episode I'll probably just be like, hey guys, remember this is what the podcast is about. But the way that I feel when I'm around animals and just literally just spending time with them, if it's a dog, doing dog stuff, whatever the fuck, I just feel so myself and so in my power. And it's not like I'm just diving in and just being like totally crazy animal and just like rolling around in the dirt, taking all my clothes off. I don't get like fucking weird about it or whatever. I mean, I'd love to get weird about it, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm just like, no matter what, if I'm just around animals, if an animal is near me, I just feel so myself. I feel whole. I feel in my power. And so it's just kind of undeniable at this point. So I'm feeling so drawn to just get back to like my body and just get back to, and it sounds like, and I'm saying get back to, but I feel like I haven't really spent that much time in this energy of just honoring myself, honoring where I'm at, honoring my body, using herbs to heal myself, learning about herbs, collecting herbs, just fucking like creating, writing poetry. I feel like I haven't spent that much time doing this shit, but I keep saying I'm getting back to it because that's how I feel like my awakening process is. And I've heard a lot of other people that resonate with this, but it's just like, I'm just shedding all this shit that has been put on top of me my whole life, telling me like who I should be, how I should be, what I should do, how to make money, how to like play this game. Here's how you play this game. But nobody ever asked me, what fucking game do I want to play? There's so many different ways you can look at the world, so many different perceptions, so many different avenues. And I feel like I was just put on one at a young age. And they were like, this is the one you go on. This is the one that you do. And I would see like all these other roads and all these other paths around me. And I'm like, well, what about that one and this one? And I just felt like a hand came and like turned my head back into focus on the path. They're like, no, this path. And then eventually I started doing that to myself. I was like, no, don't even let those thoughts go there. You're on this path. This is your life. This is where you're supposed to go. And it's just like been one fucking huge distortion. And like in reality, I just want to like dance and I want to perform. I want to play with my hula hoop. I want to write poetry. I want to write music. I just want to fucking like make tinctures and hang out with animals. And collaborate with people. I really want to just like fucking sit around and I want to just, it sounds so cheesy, but I just want to sit around and like meditate with people. I want to talk about my experiences. I am like dying for community. So fucking hard, man. Ugh, God, it's so frustrating because it's like, oh, you're in this, you're at this point in your life for a reason. Everything happens at the right time, divine timing. And it's like, well, I'm fucking tired of divine timing. Can I just like have the things now? And then it's like, oh, well, look inside yourself. Because inside yourself is where you'll find everything you need. And I'm like, there's a whole community of people that want to hold my hands, meditate together, and like talk about the shit that we see and talk about like what we think paranormal phenomena is and all the realms that we can travel to. They're all inside of me. Fuck, well, tell them to come out. I want to touch them. I want to hold their hand. Ugh. I also just want to collaborate with people on how to use our abilities for good. It sounds so superhero movie. How do we use our powers for good? But, you know, kind of. I don't know. I think we all kind of, I don't know. I've never wanted to be a superhero. I've just always wanted to be a witch, which, I said witch as in W-I-T-C-H, and then I said witch, W-H-I-C-H. I've always wanted to be a witch. You know what I mean? Whatever. I am not editing this episode. I'm just going to put it out, and it is going to be difficult for me. But you know how much fucking time I spend editing episodes just to make all of the dumb stuff sound not dumb? See, there, I hesitated. In my mind, I'm like, okay, say something better. Go back, edit it. Take out this dumb thing. God, I really want to edit that out, but I'm not going to. What was I talking about? Getting together with people and just Okay, you can do this. You can do this. You can do this. Okay, well, how can we all like, let's teach each other. Like, I just want to fucking harness whatever power I have, whatever abilities I have. Like, I just want to really have a structure. I don't know. I really just want to like know what my magic is, use my magic, perfect my magic, and then teach it to other people and then learn from other people. It's like, there's a way to just be so well-rounded. And if that's what you want, I mean, some people like really do best when they focus on one thing and they perfect one thing. But if you look at my natal chart, I have something in every single house. And so basically that means that I am like a Jill of all trades. Like I said earlier, my jobs, the resume that I have is just so much, there's so much variety in all the work that I've done over the years. And that's just true in like everything in my life. And so like, of course, once I find out that there are like abilities that people have and like that I have abilities, apparently, mediumship, which, you know, I'll probably do just an episode about that. I really want to have a medium on and just talk about their experiences with it. Cause you know, yeah, I have definitely had some things are just coming in pretty strong, I guess. Like, the spirits, the voices, whatever. I have been feeling disconnected from my practices, but I just try to I'm not doing that beautiful ritual I was doing for like a month straight. And, you know, every morning I wake up with the intention to do it. But then if I sleep in a little too late or if my energy is just really low, I'm like, okay, everything is ritual though. I wake up every morning and I like make my tea. I'm taking herbs from my herb collection from the herb jars and I'm putting it in my diffuser. That's not the right word. I'm putting it in my mesh strainer. I'm boiling the water, putting the water in the cup, and I'm like making myself a magical hot cup of medicine to take with me. Boom, there's a ritual. I'm brushing my teeth. I look at myself in the mirror and I tell myself I love myself. I know how that sounds, but I just want to be the cool girl, you know? I'm like, I'm cool. I don't give a fuck. I just love myself. But that's not fucking true, all right? I have so much pent up, built up hatred for myself that like, yeah, I have to stand in front of a mirror in the morning and say I love you a few times. And I am not embarrassed. That's not true. I'm pretty embarrassed about that. But why? God. Whatever. I really have some cool people lined up to be interviewed for this podcast. I have a few interviews that I have yet to edit and release that I will. I really like doing these solo episodes. You guys, you might not like these solo episodes. I don't know what to tell you. Part of me is like, yeah, I'm making a podcast to share this with other people, so it's for other people. But if we're really honest, I mean, this is kind of just for me. I think if we're all honest with ourselves, everything is just for ourselves. I was talking to a friend today, though, about like, is there really any truly a selfless act? Because anytime we do something for somebody else, we're still getting something out of it on like a deep level. We're still looking like, oh, if I see somebody on the side of the road that needs some help, you know, if there's somebody that's standing outside of a grocery store and that's asking for money, I'll give them water. I'll go in the store. I'll buy them groceries for 2 days, whatever. And it's like, that's cool. I am happy to do that for them, but I feel good when I do that. So I'm getting something out of it. It's not just like, oh, I'm so selfless and I'm giving my money and time away to somebody that needs it. It's like, I think we should just all fucking do that, honestly. If you see somebody that is asking you for money, if you have money to spare, or if you don't have cash on you, but there's a store nearby, just fucking, if you have the time and you have the money, you should fucking do it. Bottom line. I said it. I don't think that that's really a hot take. I don't think that that's strong. I don't think that is that strong of an opinion. God, did I say that like 4 times in there? That's a lot of times. Guys, this podcast is a mess. I wanted to get an episode out because I love making this podcast. Some parts of it stress me out, like wanting to get an episode out on the same day every week. I'm starting to realize I'm just trying to figure out if I'm like made for that or not. Part of me doesn't think that I am, but a part of me is like, you just got your podcast art. You just got the computer. Why don't you just try this podcast thing out for a bit and then see how it goes? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I guess I'm just winging it. I have, like I said, I have like some really awesome guests lined up for the pod. I am really wanting to focus on animal communication, being better for our animal companions, our wild animal neighbors, animal rescue, animal welfare, veganism and spirituality, herbalism, just getting back to the earth, honoring the earth, and fucking being better to our animal neighbors, because I'm really fucking tired of us being shitbags to each other, sure, but there just aren't enough conversations in our society about like how we treat animals. And I have been so afraid to be the fucking preachy vegan, to be the annoying vegan. Even when I wasn't vegan, I was just always so afraid of just being public about how much I gave a shit about animals because people made fun of that. Like, why is there so much disregard for our fellow earth dwellers? What's the fucking deal with that? Who do I go to talk about this with? God, I'm screaming into this microphone. I'm sorry, Mike. You've always been so good to me. You're my therapist. I love you. I do know that what you focus on becomes what is in your life. I do know that we can all talk to dead people. And I do know that forcing magic repels magic in your life. Those were just the last 3 bullet points on my notes here for this episode. And I just wanted to get those out before the end of it. All right, shit, here it goes. I'm not going to edit this episode at all. I love you guys. Bye.